a girl loves girl. It's so weird. We're like, oh, why do you judge her? Yeah, be careful. Have a Japanese nationality, I guess.
I'm gonna read that because I can't remember.
Hinano と言います。インタビューを YouTuber から今から受けているところです。
Hello my friends and very welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have Hinano. She came to Europe from Japan and settled down in Lithuania for work. Let's get to the first question. So what's about the things that might be considered rude in Japan but absolutely normal in Europe, Lithuania?
Customer service thing. And if you are shop staff and you keep the customer a little bit wait, it can be rude in Japan.
Is it true that when you are a teenager, you can dye your hair different colors, you can put the lenses, but when you work for the company, you have to be serious, you can't even dye your hair?
So true, it really sucks. For example, like, I can't dye my hair like to red even if I want to.
So what's the dating culture in Japan and Lithuania, and what are the main differences?
It's very different. I can talk about it. Actually, in Japan, the one guy and one girl meet, and one of them got interested in each other. Okay, let's ask her or him out for the coffee or something. But after some while, this guy has to tell this girl, oh, I think I like you. Label if you're dating or not. Otherwise, the girls get really confused. And then they become a couple right away. And then keep dating.
So what do you mean by label? Can you explain it a bit more? What do you mean?
Probably in Western cultures in general.
Yeah.
Start from meeting up and then maybe seeing each other. And then probably you will see how this person is like and this closer and closer. In Japan, you definitely make it clear if it's a date or just a friendship, hanging out thing. It's really often for Japanese girl to date with a guy from other culture and get confused with, oh, is it a date or is it this just a friend thing? They get really confused. Sorry, it's gonna be a little bit sexual, but if this guy doesn't label this girls and relationship as a date, if you had a sex with someone, you will be considered as someone who is not beauty standards of Japan, magazines or something like that. We always had white girl instead of Japanese girls or boys. So I think a lot of Japanese people have insecurity. They're not really confident enough to approach the foreigners.
At the same time, don't you think that Japanese people are a little bit racist?
Yes. Oh, you're not from Japan, you're a Gaijin. Yeah, be careful.
What about the gays in Japan?
Wow, it depends on the prefecture actually, we're changing slightly. Especially for young generations, it's not pretty abnormal, but still it can be very difficult for them to get married legally. Oh, and also it's an interesting thing. For gay people, it's not difficult to be gay who they are. They can say, oh, I'm gay, and people are like, oh, okay, I'm gay, but I don't judge you. Especially young people. If you're lesbian, it can be a little bit difficult.
Oh, is it different for the guys and girls? Really?
Yeah, it's very weird. Why a girl loves girl? It's so weird. We're like, oh, why do you judge her?
Any specific suggestions for travelers who want to visit Japan, and is it easy to find jobs for foreigners?
It's definitely better to learn some Japanese beforehand you go to Japan. People will be really pleased if you speak some Japanese.
You speak Japanese! Oh my god! Sure. Japanese!
One time I saw this guy wearing this t-shirt which is oh, I want a girlfriend in Japanese. Oh, okay.
赤外人って書いてあるよ。Foreigner.
Okay. Not promoting the app or anything, but last year I was doing a hitchhiking trip in Japan, and I used this app called Couchsurfing. It was such a good idea to use it. Even though I'm a local Japanese person, it's pretty cool. It works. It works. Even in countryside, some people use it. You can meet really interesting people. Regarding the jobs for foreigners in Japan, it's very difficult. And if you can speak Japanese really well, it's much easier for you to get one. I have some friends who's working in Japan, even though he can't speak any Japanese. So sometimes it's possible, but it will be online based, I guess.
You have to be real professional that Japan want to let you in, or if you want to work in restaurant, it'd be kind of harder for you to get through?
Not really, especially in Tokyo. I have so many non-Japanese person is working restaurant, other even convenience store. Actually, in convenience store, you can see a lot of non-Japanese students, international students working as a part-time job. You see so many of them. You speak a little bit Japanese, but in the convenience store, you just can use certain sentences, like same sentences.
Is there any jobs that foreigners would not be accepted, never at any point? It's only for Japanese.
Governmental sector, of course.
Governmental.
Yeah, had to have a Japanese nationality, I guess. Interesting thing from one of my friends who used to be in the same university. She's from Russia. When she speaks, she sounds like Japanese, that good. But she told me like when she was doing job hunting, trying to get in like to some corporate in Japan, HR person judged her just because she looks like a white person. They didn't like try to listen to her stories. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
And also for me, if I was in a restaurant with my friends, with Japanese friends, they never talk to me, never. Serve the men first.
It's actually one of the sexist countries still, to be honest. Yeah, controversial.
I'm gonna read that because I can't remember. Onsen culture, and would you face any problems if you have many to choose applying for a job or just visiting onsen, means hot bath, like a sauna in Japan?
Because of the Yakuza image in Japan.
Mafia?
Yeah, mafia. So we have this stereotype, especially for older generations. If you have tattoo, you're like a bad person. Last year, I went to this car school, driving school, and I don't have any tattoo yet, but I saw this disclaimer: if you have a tattoo, you can't enter this school.
Oh my god, it's really,
Yeah,
it's 21st
yeah.
century.
You shouldn't like bother others in public so that everyone can be peaceful. That's a cultural thing, I guess. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're foreigner, if you're not foreigner, you have to cover yourself if you're going to Japanese onsen. Otherwise, you can get a private one. What about getting jobs if you go to two?
We have this Japanese company and this foreign-based company, you know, the international multi-nation company. And especially Japanese company, I think it's pretty difficult to have a tattoo like in the visible area. That's why it's difficult for us to get a tattoo.
What is easier to make friends, in Japan or Europe?
Personally, I think it's much easier to make friends in Europe. It's totally normal for you, like to make friends in cafe or bars. It never happens to us, Japanese person. In the public place, we don't talk to strangers. Yeah,
So how do you meet the people? You meet in groups, probably.
in the same group or same
groups.
organization, it's totally possible. Yeah, to make friends. Here, the clubs like not only for sexual purpose, you can just dance and have a good time. But in Japan, like finding someone to sleep with. As a Japanese girl, like I feel not really safe in there.
Food in Japan is absolutely amazing. Do you miss national food? And is it hard to find real sushi outside of Japan?
Personally, I don't really miss Japanese food. The kind of person like who like seeks to experience new food or new culture or different things. But actually, other Japanese people really miss Japanese food all the time. We don't have avocado, sushi, or something like that, but we enjoy a different sushi. I think a lot of Japanese people living in Europe in general try to get the ingredients by themselves, even though it's slightly expensive.
Do you think it's possible to find real Japanese sushi in Europe or in Lithuania? Do you think it's possible? It would be like not the same.
I think it's pretty difficult in Lithuania, to be honest. Sorry, Lithuanian people. But maybe in big cities, UK or like Germany.
The big countries.
Somewhere. Yeah. I think it's possible.
Okay. Let's move to the next one. Considering everything we said before, are you planning to go back to Japan one day, or you want to continue work and travel abroad?
I had to go back to Japan once, but I think I would love to stay in Europe and experience more and travel to more countries.
And do you think like Japanese people who lived abroad and Japanese people who haven't been abroad, they are quite different?
Yeah, I do think so. Staying in the dormitory, in the hostel, and hanging out with other people, like random people, it's very weird for them. Yeah, because we have this culture, we don't talk to strangers.
Thank you very much guys for watching my video. Please put like, dislike and comment below if you'd like to hear any other information about Japan or any other country. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna see you next week. Mwah! Francesco!